Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Yankee and the Brit MMA Underground. I'm Jay. He's Maddie. And here with a special guest from StreetBeefs Scrapyard, Preacher Son. Thank you so much for being on.
Hey, it's pleasure's all mine, guys. Thanks for having me here.
And I'm really excited to talk to you. There's a lot of stuff I got questions for. But first, why don't you tell everybody where you train and any shout outs or anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, definitely. Huge shout out to Bad Company MMA in Washington, or Aberdeen, Washington. My coach Jacob Allison, he's been doing this thing forever, since he was like 5 years old or something, and he is one of the best in Washington. He's taught me dang near everything I know. And a huge shout out to my wife and kids. You know, they've been supporting me. I kid you not, they go to every single practice of mine. They've been going 2 days a week for the last over a year. So
you're an entertaining fighter to watch. That's
I appreciate that.
You know?
Yeah. And win, lose, or draw in all my fights, all glory to God, baby. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It was bittersweet for me. I'm not gonna lie. So you fight Jay Gotham right before we do his interview.
Hey, I know it.
So, but we had it set up. So I'm going in and I'm like, all right, Jay Gotham's going to win this thing. He's going to come on. We're going to ride this wave of his sponsorship. And then I saw one of the best street beat fights just because I felt like the technical level of the fight was up there. And what really impressed me, and you probably say the same thing, is that Jay Gotham was impressive for not having formal training like most people do. But man, did I really enjoy watching you two fight.
Hey, thank you. I loved it. I mean, that's exactly the fight that my coach and I wanted, just because we knew Jay Gotham's level. We didn't want me to go out and fight somebody way below. We knew that Jay Gotham was a good fighter. So yeah, we were excited for it.
I definitely think it was awesome for us, the fans, to see, because like I say to the other fighters on the interviews, I see the level of MMA and kickboxing just going up with Street Beefs, and the production value of Scrapyard makes it so fun to watch. So I think the fact that I got to watch you and Jay Gotham fight was really cool. And the fact that I have to ask, while fighting him, some of those knees look brutal. Does he throw a pretty hard knee?
Yeah. That guy's got a lot of power in everything that he throws. The knees, you know, my adrenaline was pumping so hard that I didn't really feel him, except for one that I remember. He got me one to the solar plexus and it dang near lifted me off the ground. So that was good.
I'm quite new to MMA myself, and I remember watching the fight and thinking, I was in the same boat as Jay. I was like, all right, we got Jay Gotham on. He could, like, all I've seen is him just absolutely obliterating people, like knocking people out, a lot of fun to watch. And then he came up against you, and I was thinking, this guy is he's not going to be able to knock this guy over. Like, this is going to be a fight. Like, just by looking at the technique from the get-go, and I know nothing about MMA technique, but you know, when you just look at somebody and you're like, yeah, you know, this guy knows his shit. And it was the kind of thing I was looking at. And you give him some real trouble, man. But we've heard in the previous interview that you're actually training him to make him better. That's an interesting thing to do for your rival.
You know, in the Street Beefs family up there, it's all love. You know, we none of this is going on a record. We're all there really to support each other. I had no beef whatsoever with Jay Gotham. I was actually a big fan of his. I watched all of his fights multiple times, and you know, if I can help him out, I know he's talked about going pro someday. I would love to see him go pro. I want to go pro too, so I would, if I can help him get there, by all means.
And I think it's awesome that you guys are going to work together, make each other better, take this journey together, and maybe your paths cross again. But the great thing about combat sports is there doesn't have to be a hatred, or, you know, there doesn't have to be bad rivals to make a great fight. But my question comes in is, so did you just start training MMA when you were younger? Are you a wrestler? Where did your love for fighting come from?
You know, I have been wrestling. That's where I started. I started when I was, like in the 5th grade or something. I'd wrestled for a long time. And I always loved it, loved MMA. I messed around with it for a couple months. Then I had to get out because the MMA group shut down. But then I did a little bit of I did boxing for about 8 months, just practicing. But what really got me started was my older brother did an MMA fight, and he took the whole championship out of a guy that had been the reigning champ for like 3 years. So that's what really got me started on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought maybe you had a wrestling base because I was a guy who wrestled until you got to high school and you had to choose a sport. So
yeah.
I thought maybe, but nowadays when you watch grapplers, they look like they had a wrestling base and you find out they never wrestled. I will say that that choke is becoming more and more popular, and you see it more and more people use it. And like the casual MMA fan might not see the trouble somebody's in. But when you do that shoulder and arm choke and that shoulder blade goes into that throat, or that shoulder goes right in that throat, that's a nasty little choke.
Oh, it is. You know, I saw a YouTube comment on the video that said something about he tapped too quick. I have been tapped before in like 2 seconds, because it's not always about air. That's one thing people don't get. When those arteries get cut off, things go fuzzy real quick. So nobody knows what Jay was feeling down there other than him.
If you look at his face, I don't think he tapped too quick. I think he realized, I'm going to tap now while I'm still awake.
Yeah, he said that very much on the interview with him. He said, "Oh, we've all got to remember we're not professionals. We've got to work the next day." And like he was like, "I'm not getting out of this." He just went, "I'm not getting out of this. I'm going to tap out. This guy's beat me, all fair to you." And he was shouting your praises the whole time. The whole
I know. That's one thing I love about that guy. Yeah, it's so respectful. One of the best dudes I met up there.
I hear this from everybody, and I said I love watching him fight, but he seems like an even better person. And everybody I said that to says he is.
Oh yeah, you know, when he looks like a scary dude on video. He looks like a scary dude, and he should be. I mean, he should be feared when you're going up against him. Definitely respected. But afterwards, I find out all this stuff. You know, he's in a youth mentorship program. He's trying to help train other fighters. He actually invited me to go do some public speaking on overcoming fear. I'm not able to go, sadly, but he's just super welcoming into all that he's doing, and he's not holding anything back. The one reason I wanted to train with him wasn't only to benefit him, it was to benefit me as well, because he can teach me a lot.
Yeah, that's very cool. And two tough guys training together, as long as they don't leave their careers in the gym, is always an awesome thing.
Yeah.
Where I have to ask, and I'm sure it has a lot to do with your faith, but are you a preacher's son, or where did that name come from?
So, my dad actually was a pastor back in the day. It was more of an at-home group. But the name just kind of came up because the guys at my gym know of my faith. We discussed it all the time up there. We're a really close-knit group. They were trying to come up with all of these nicknames, and that was just the one that stuck. They liked that one the best, so I went with it. They chose the name. I didn't even choose it.
I like it, but all I have to say is, because I'm kind of cheesy, if you get your first pro fight, you got to come down to Son of a Preacher Man.
Son of a Preacher Man? I'll think about it.
I'm not sure that's the best song to get you amped up for a fight, but
Hey, I'll have to check it out and really think about that one.
So you were talking that you do want to fight pro someday. Do you have a plan moving forward, or are you just going to put some more time into street beefs and see where it goes?
I definitely want to put some more time into street beefs, not only for my career, just because I really enjoyed it up there. But I'm going to hopefully go back up to street beefs in May. I'm taking this month off. I hurt my knee a little bit in that last fight, but I'll be up there in May, hopefully. And I actually just saw that in Washington, some amateur fights are starting to come back. So as soon as one pops up, I'm hopping on it if I can.
So you just want to get into any sanctioned fight you can, right? As soon as you can, and then use Street Beefs to kind of hone your skills and train, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And the publicity is awesome. I mean, I don't know what the fight between Jay Gotham and I, or the views are at now, but last time I checked, I mean, it was pushing 150,000 views. So the people think it's a joke getting in there, but you get a lot of eyes are on you when you get in that cage. So I think it's great for amateur fighters looking to go pro.
Well, Street Beefs is definitely growing, and our videos on Street Beefs are some of our best viewed videos, and they get shared to a lot of MMA pages on Facebook and different things. So it's really cool to see that people are starting to find out and following guys, because at some point we're going to be following some of you into different promotions, which I think is very awesome. And I think it's a very cool thing for people to see. I also think that, like I told you, the fact that they're seeing the level of MMA rise is very cool. And I think it's guys like you who are paving the way for that.
Hey, I appreciate that. Well, you know, when everything was shut down up here, we didn't really have anywhere else to turn. So it was a great outlet for all actual fighters training. It's not just guys coming off the street anymore. I mean, there's been a lot of great fights for a long time, but like you said, it's growing quickly. I love to see it.
Yeah, it's a totally different standard to the older fights that I've gone through and watching. Scrapyard seems to be like a great place to be at the moment. Like the level of skills increasing, but also the level of production is going to really help you to kind of showcase your skills. So when we're watching the fight, we can see the punches flying, but then they're getting in a good replay, which then means that the pro levels who be asking you for a fight, hopefully sometime soon, will see your level of skill through those replays as well. So I think Scrapyard is a great place to be, to kind of not only hone your skills, but to be able to show off other people because of the production value that they offer.
Oh yeah, man. Huge shout out to Steve Hagara. Man, he's doing a fantastic job up there. And that guy puts so much time and effort into what we're doing up there. And he is the community that he's building is freaking awesome. He does not deal with people disrespecting, and that is one thing I really appreciate. I mean, gosh, nobody runs their mouth up there. The whole time I was there, people may be rooting for one guy or another, but it was all in respect. So it was awesome.
Yeah, in British sports, we have like this saying, like you'll go for a pint after with them. Like in rugby, you go to battle, like you beat the shit out of each other. Like I've had guys pressing down on my neck while I'm on the floor and like saying, "Oh, you English bastard," because I used to play in Wales and have an English accent and stuff. And then I went for a pint with them straight after. And Scrapyard, like all of the Street Beefs arenas seem like that, but Scrapyard, you definitely get that feel of like it's kind of a more wholesome, like family kind of vibe up there, and everybody will go for a pint after when pubs are open. I don't know what it's like in the US.
Yeah, man, you're exactly right. Disrespect is just not dealt with up there. None of the guys have it, and I love it.
Yeah, I get a real enjoyment out of watching this all grow, and this is a question we throw at everybody, so I'm gonna throw it at you too. Do you think at some point all the branches or chapters get together and have some kind of unifying belts for different weight classes, because this thing just keeps growing and growing?
You know, I think it'd be awesome. I know there's been talk about sending teams out, you know, Scrapyard versus, you know, pound for pound, or, you know, and I think that'd be awesome to see, really see who's the best of the best in the whole Street Beefs community. I'd be down for that. I mean, I'm, you know, but it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
Get plane tickets, get housing down there. So, I mean, as soon as possible would be great, but I have no idea when that would be in the future.
Yeah, we just throw that out there because we think it's
as the advertisement and sponsorship kind of grows, then it'll be easier to pay for that. Like that Shinigami and Big Smile fight coming up, that's going to get absolutely load of views, and then that'll be where they can kind of show it from there. They'll see how much money they make from that, and then they'll be like, hey, who's the next biggest fighter? Can we get Jay Gotten to go fight a guy in this OG scrapyard, and see that'll kind of build on it from there.
Speaking of Jay Gotten, he had a great idea. I don't know, I might be aging myself, but I don't know if either of you ever saw that movie, The Best of the Best. But in the movie The Best of the Best, it's a 90s, but he had the same idea. 10 guys from Scrapyard, 10 guys from Street Beefs, OG Yard, 10 guys from West Coast meet up somewhere. You're 10 versus our 10 in matches, kind of like going to a wrestling meet or something.
Yeah. Hey, that's exactly how I'd like to see it, actually. I mean, it'd be great if we could pack up the whole dang community from Washington and go, but the reality is that would be the best way to do it. One guy from each weight class and just have a huge tournament. That'd be freaking awesome.
So, speaking of freaking awesome, so I was looking through comments of preacher's son needs to stop taking steroids. Did you see this comment?
Oh yeah, I loved it. That was Hey, I take that as a straight compliment. I am totally cool with anyone saying that.
I gotta say, as a guy who's watched UFC and different MMA since UFC 1, I was 14 when I found the VHS and was just addicted. I've watched the steroid era to the USADA era, and guys shrivel up, and I just think they haven't watched that if they think you're on steroids, but that's gotta feel good.
You know, I've seen guys on steroids. So I was a personal trainer. I got my certification and everything, and so I've been able to see a lot of fitness gurus and this and that. You know when a guy's on steroids. I mean, it changes. There's such a massive change. If I was on steroids, I hope I'm not looking like this still.
So you're just going in the gym now, training, getting ready, and then you're going to see what's next, Street Beefs or some kind of sanctioned fight?
Yeah, you know, I'm definitely planning on heading up to the May event on Street Beefs. So, I mean, my knee's healing up good. I'm doing some rehab work on it. And yeah, I should be there first. I have no idea when the amateur fights are really going to be popping up, but I know there's a lot of talk going on finally. So I'm definitely still green in this. I mean, that was my first legitimate fight ever in MMA. So I'm hoping to really get moving this year and get quite a few fights done.
That is so freaking impressive that was your first fight, because you didn't look shook, you didn't look out of place, you didn't look like you felt uncomfortable. That's big props to your coaches and the people you train with.
So I'm glad you guys didn't see it, but I felt like I was out there fighting drunk, man. I couldn't think of my combos. I wasn't setting up my kicks. My ground game felt sloppy. I felt so sloppy out there, but I do have to give a huge shout out to my coaches and my teammates. We have sparred like no one's business up there. We have gone a little too hard sometimes, and I really appreciate everybody that's been putting their neck on the line up in that training for me to get where I'm going, you know, because we've had dislocated ribs, sprained toes, broken noses. We've had knockouts in sparring. We've had some serious injuries just because we're trying to go hard. We're trying to move up to that next level. So yeah, huge shout out to those guys up there.
Yeah, I watched your fight 4 or 5 times between the interview with Jay Gotham and you, and the fact that I just love, like I've joked before, I watch 2 people fight anywhere. So the only time you even gave any facial expression or emotion was when you were on top of Jay Gotham and he got the sweep, and reversed it. But other than that, you were stone cold faced through the whole thing. So to find out, like I said, it was your first fight, that's very impressive.
Hey, thank you. You know, when he got that re-roll on me, something, you know, I don't even know if I should be announcing this over your guys' whole podcast, but something at my knee kind of clicked a little bit, and that really threw me off. If you watch during the rest of that first round, when I'm on bottom, I sat there and just hugged onto Jay Gotham, figuring out if I had to look up on my coach and call this fight off, because something went a little funky in my knee. I don't really know what it was, but I sat there and just hugged onto him and rode it out for a while. So yeah, but I'm glad I didn't, you know, throw in the towel that soon. It was a great match. I enjoyed every second of it.
Yeah, I have to say, now I'm gonna have to go watch it again now that you said that. But never once did you seem like you were in pain or in trouble. So that just again is a testament to your will to get through there. I'm so blown away with you and Jay Gotham, because one, he's like, yeah, I haven't really trained, and you're like, yeah, that was my first fight. And both of you look like you have training and have been fighting longer than you have. So I'm excited to watch where you both go.
Yeah, thank you, man. I would love to see Jay Gotham get, you know, a year of training under, and then see what kind of an animal that guy becomes.
Yeah, and we know you're not allowed to call each other out. Like, it's all about the respect that we've spoke about before. But could you see a reunion with Jay Gotham coming anytime soon? Or,
you know, I've heard a lot of guys saying they want to see a rematch. And I don't have anything really against that down the road. I'd like to get a few fights with a few other guys, and like to see Jay Gotham get a few more. So down the road, maybe. But well, you know, I don't really have anything against it. But if there was an immediate rematch, I'm gonna say it'd be kind of insulting to me. It'd be kind of saying, well, Preacher's son just got lucky and Jay Gotham will take him out next time. So if an immediate one happens,
that's absolutely a fair point. And like Maddie said, we understand there isn't these big WWE call outs or anything like that. But in your head, without saying who, do you have a couple people you have in mind that you'd like to fight?
You know, not really. Jay Gotham was out there taking care of the best guys out there. I mean, the Milkman, I don't know, have you guys seen the Milkman versus Jay Gotham fight?
Yeah.
That was a nasty knee.
Oh, man, it was. But Milkman is actually, he looks like a decent fighter, actually. I really liked his performance. But I'm not trying to do any call out. I wouldn't mind going against Milkman. He looks like an actual trained, decent fighter. It was just a nasty knee, like you guys said.
Yeah, Maddie and I said the same thing, that he did not look like a guy who was untrained, who just got in there to scrap. He looked like he had real formal training, knew what he was doing. Also, Jay Gotham was bigger and just looked stronger, which is always hard. Because when two hit, it looked like it was almost, you know, the two rocks hitting each other, where when he oversized a couple guys, you were like, okay.
Yeah, so I gotta plug my phone in here. I'm running out of. I'm not sure if you guys plan me up against the cage. I could feel that guy's power, man. He and just like off of that re-roll, oh my gosh, that guy is explosive off of any position.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where you go moving forward, and I'm excited to see how big you get off the steroids you're supposedly taking.
Hey, when I gotta get clean for an amateur fighter, you'll see me shrink up, I guess.
Yeah. Anything else before we let Preacher's son go, Maddie?
No, it's just been an absolute pleasure, and like, you were as nice as we thought you were going to be perfectly honest, mate. And that's yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you, buddy.
Hey, thank you guys. I really, really appreciate it.
Well, I really hope we get to talk to you again soon. I'm excited to see your next fight. So even if it's something that's not Street Beefs. If you have somebody recording it, man, hit me up, text it to me or something. I'd love to watch your next fight, even if it's, not on TV or Street Beefs or whatever.
Hey, next fight, I'll let you guys know. I mean, hopefully in May. That's what we're shooting for.
Sounds great, man. Very excited. Thank you so much, bud.
All right. Well, thank you so very much. Everybody, thanks for watching. You can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all podcasting platforms. All right, guys. One world, one love. Deuces.
Cheerio.
God bless, guys.